Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen, as we are here for the Conference of Champions Tournament here in the Michelob Ultra Center. With Tia Reed, I'm Walker Smith to bring you this first matchup against number 12 Washington and Colorado. In our first matchup, it's looking to be an interesting game.
Yeah, this 5-12 matchup, first matchup of the tournament. Washington has struggled immensely throughout their Pac-12 schedule. They come in at just 2-12 in the conference. They have a few pieces going for them, but nothing that's really developed into a team that can really compete for this tournament. But Colorado, on the other hand, they've seen some success this year. They came in, expected the preseason ranking was number 7. They exceeded that, coming in at number 5. And I mean, they've got a couple standouts on this team for sure.
One of those standouts would be Mia Hollingshed, all Pac-12 fifth-year senior. You'll expect her to have a big night against Washington. Another storyline to watch for this game. Colorado plays 9 players over 12 minutes a game, while Washington has 3 players that go over 30 minutes a game. So Washington's going to have to be pumping the gas all night, while Colorado's going to be working in shifts. Should be an interesting matchup. Expect a low-scoring game here tonight as we are moments away from tip-off here, getting ready for the starting lineups.
Yeah, speaking of that low scoring, that defense, Kendall Weta, the freshman for Colorado, leads the Pac-12 in steals, made the all-freshman and the all-defensive team for the Pac-12. She's fantastic. Look for her to be a defensive force and get active with those hands on defense.
As we look as the Washington starting lineups come out, as well as the Colorado, let's highlight how Washington's season's been going. So this head coach Tina Langley's first year, coming over from a very successful Rice program, and her best players came along with her, and Lauren Schwartz transferred from Rice. Plays 33 minutes a game, and also expect to look for Haley Van Dyke out there, an extremely good defender, an all Pac-12 defensive and all Pac-12 honorable mention this season. Expect those two to play a pivotal role in this game. Starting lineup is just about done here, and we are moments away from tip-off.
These two teams, this is an exciting way to kick off this tournament for sure. This should be a good defensive game. Colorado really starting to set in. Washington, like I said, only a couple wins, but I mean, it's tournament time. Anything can happen.
It is tournament time, but since say Washington limped into this tournament, they only won 3 of their last 15 games, and during that stretch, they lost 11 straight games in conference. They've really struggled this season under Coach Langley's first season here, but it's a building program, and they have bright spots, and those bright spots will try and show out tonight. But I'm expecting this to be the Mia Hollingshed show tonight.
Yeah, Hollingshed, I mean, she's really done a phenomenal job this season for Colorado, leading them to where they are at this point in the season. And especially on a team that runs as deep as Colorado does, the fact that she's been able to find her place in this team has been fantastic for her.
The lights come back on here in the Michelob Ultra Arena, and we are seconds away from tip-off here for our first game. Number 12 seeded Washington taking on number 5 seeded Colorado in the first game of the Pac-12 Women's Tournament. Coaches giving their final thoughts to their players before they head out to the middle circle for tip-off.
Lots of energy here at Michelob Ultra Arena.
We'll go ahead and give you the starters tonight. Starting out there for Washington, Jada Noble and Trinity Oliver will be out there playing the guard positions. Lauren Schwartz and Haley Van Dyke, the 1-2 punch for Washington, will be there playing the forwards, and in the center holding down the blocks will be Nancy Mulkey with 10.5 points a game. She also came from Rice along with Coach Langley.
And then coming on the Colorado side, they've got Jalen Sherrod, Tamia Sadler, and Lasila Finau as their guards. They've also got Maya Hollingshed coming in as another guard position, and then Peanut Tutele is a forward, as Colorado will start in a 4-guard set against this Washington team. As we get ready for the tip-off, we've got Hollingshed and Mulkey set in the middle. ready to get things going.
Mulkey sitting at 6'9" here for Washington. Expected
Tip is up.
to play a big
Colorado will get it, and Sherrod will bring the ball up to get things started. She'll pass it to Sadler, who will get it back to Hollingshed at the right elbow. Hollingshed looking for someone to pass to. Finau will take it at the top of the key. She'll look to pass to Sadler. Sadler will drive it in down the right side. She'll kick to the corner. Hollingshed from the top of the key will shoot the three, will miss, and Mulkey will get the rebound to start things off.
Good first defensive possession for Washington. We're able to stay in front of their man on the first one.
Now we've got Mulkey at the top of the key, and she'll get it to Noble, who pass it to Van Dyke coming around. Now we've got Oliver driving down the right side for the layup, and she'll miss that one as well. So now Colorado going on the offensive. Hollingshed pushing the pace a little bit here. Hollingshed slowing it down, passing it to Sherrod at the top of the key. Colorado moving, looking to find someone open. Now Sadler will take it. She'll look to find some space. She'll drive in, but won't find anything. She'll pass it out at Sherrod in the corner. Sherrod will take it to the hoop. Shot clock violation there as Washington gets the defensive stop, and we'll send it back the other way.
Washington playing good defense early, keeping everything in front of them and not allowing easy looks, forcing a shot clock violation.
Now Oliver getting Washington set up offensively. Schwartz has it on the corner. They'll swing it around to Van Dyke in the other corner. Now Mulkey passing it off to Noble. Noble will look to find something at the free throw line. Mulkey down in the post trying to find something, can't. Oliver will get it back out. She'll pass it to Van Dyke as the shot clock will run out. Washington able to get a shot off for the shot clock there, but no good, as Mulkey now will take it from the top of the key.
Good hustle there by Van Dyke to get the miss off of the Schwartz shot.
Noble now with the ball, passing it to Van Dyke on right side of the key. Washington can't find anything in the middle. Oliver will try to get a mid-range jump shot. That one will miss, but she will be able to get the rebound, and Washington will stay on offense.
Good follow on the shot from Oliver. Saw it was going missing short right, but went right after it.
Van Dyke now with it on the right side. She'll pass it to Schwartz, who will go for the mid-range and miss it, and Colorado will finally get a rebound. Jalen Sherrod now going back the other way, as she'll pass it to Finau. Lutele getting it in the middle. She'll pass it back out to Finau as well, though. Nothing there. Sherrod passing it around to Hollingshed and to Sadler. Sherrod now with it at the top of the key. Gets it into Hollingshed at the left elbow. And Hollingshed will go for the layup, but Mulkey there with the block. Colorado will now sub 4 in for their starters.
Yeah, that block's going to be there all night for Mulkey. Sitting at 6'9", as I mentioned earlier, she'll be able to block shots as Colorado tries to probe inside.
Colorado with almost a brand new set of offensive players there. Hollingshed goes for the shot but can't get it, as Washington will now head back the other direction. Schwartz bringing the ball up now as she'll get it to Van Dyke, and then to Oliver on the left wing. Oliver looking for someone to pass to. She'll dribble around and set up the Washington offense. Gets it to Mulkey outside the three-point line. Mulkey will pass to Schwartz in the left wing. Schwartz driving, goes for the layup and won't get it there, and Colorado will take the ball and go on offense.
It's a good block by Hollingshed. Still no points in this one as we're with 6.5 left in the first quarter.
Quay Miller now working on the right block. She'll go for the fake, gets the shot, but Mulkey there playing tough defense, won't let her score.
Thought Mulkey might have gotten the forearm there, but no call. And it's been free-flowing basketball here early in the game. However, no buckets still.
Kendall Wetta now on the inbounds. She'll pass it in to Foreman. Foreman will pass to Hollingshed at the right elbow. Almost gets it taken away, but she'll maintain control as she goes for the mid-range and won't get that one either. So now Trinity Oliver pushing the pace for Washington. Kendall Wetta trying to get the steal. Van Dyke now has it in the left wing. Van Dyke moving around outside three-point line. She'll pass it to Schwartz in the right wing, who'll shoot the three and miss there. Because the ball will go out of bounds.
Tiana Jones for Colorado was the last one to touch it. She just dropped the rebound and it went out of bounds.
So Washington will stay on possession there. Trinity Oliver looking for the inbounds pass. She'll get it into Van Dyke, who will take it to the middle of the paint, and she will go try to get the floater, but can't get it to go. Weta passing it to Foreman, to Hollingshed, gets it into Quay Miller in the middle. Quay Miller will make the first points of this game as she will now get, it will now be 2-0 Colorado with 5 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in this first quarter. There was also a foul called, so Miller will head to the free throw line.
It's the first stoppage a game we've had here and the first points. Colorado up 2-0 with 5.5 left in the first.
Quay Miller, after making the first basket, she'll get the one free throw, and it'll be good. So Colorado will be up 3-0 here. Putting on a little bit of full court pressure. Able to get the ball in though. Washington will now take it up the court. Trinity Oliver, once again handling the ball for the Huskies. Oliver gets it to Reese in the left wing. Hollingshed defending, gets it to Van Dyke for the three, and she'll make one to tie the game up 3-3 with 5 minutes and 15 seconds as Weta pushes the pace and gets it to Foreman in the right corner. Quay Miller now from the elbow gets it out to Jones, who'll pass it to Miller at the three-point line, who will knock that one in, making it 6-3 Colorado. It's Trinity Oliver now bringing the ball back up. Foreman putting on some pressure all the way up the court, gets the steal there as there's a scramble for the ball. And that'll be a jump ball called. So possession will go for the Huskies.
Shots are finally starting to fall for both teams. It took Washington 8 shots to make their first, and it took Colorado 6 shots to make their first, but now we're starting to get some scoring.
And they'll take a timeout here, and we will take a quick break as well.
Welcome back to Blaze Radio Online. Washington versus Colorado in the first game of the Pac-12 tournament, and it has not gotten off to a great start for either team.
Yeah, It was a pretty slow start for both teams. Shots not falling, but once Colorado got their first one to go, Washington matched it. Colorado was able to get another one, and now looks like the offenses are going to start moving a little bit. We're a little over halfway through the first quarter here at Michelob Ultra, but now we've seen some offensive action. Looking to see the game get going here.
Both teams struggling. Washington started at 1 for their first 8 field goals, and Colorado not much better at 2 for their first 7 field goals. Both stars for each team not playing well. Lauren Schwartz for Washington has started 0 for 4, and Mia Hollingshed for Colorado also starting 0 for 4. But Quay Miller, Pac-12 Sixth Man of the Year, has 6 points, leading all scorers here. Scores 63 with 4:45.
These teams coming out of the timeout. Washington will get possession of the ball after that jump prior to timeout. So now we've got Schwartz looking for Noble. She'll get it to Van Dyke on the right wing, who passes it into Reese, cutting down the lane, but she will send one way over the rim. Colorado will be able to get the rebound and head the other direction. Kendall Wetta getting it to Miller at the top of the key. Will pass it to Jones. She dribbles around, looks for someone to pass to. Gets it back to Wetta on the left wing. To Tutele. Moving around as Foreman will put a 3 up, and that one will go off the rim. Noble will get the rebound as Washington moves now. Schwartz will put up a 3 of her own, but that one will airball, and
I think Jones got a piece of that.
Colorado will get the rebound here. Foreman now gets it into Miller at the right block. Miller looking to find something. She'll pass it out to Wetta, cutting down the lane, who'll put one up in the lane, making it 8-3 Colorado. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left. Colorado staying with the full court pressure here. Washington able to get it into Peterson. Noble now with it on the left wing. Gets it to Schwartz at the top of the key. Schwartz will pass it to Van Dyke on the right wing. We'll get it into Reese at the right elbow. Little give and go action as Van Dyke takes it to the rim, but that one will miss. Miller will get the rebound and push it up the court to Wetta, who'll dump it off to Lutele in the middle and pass it back out to Miller for the 3, who will miss there. Jones gets the rebound. She'll put one up, but she can't get one either as Lutele fighting with the rebound to try to get another shot back up. She'll pass it out to Jones, who will shoot a 3 from the right corner. Get one back into Lutele, who'll go for the layup, get it, and the foul call.
I mean, that possession is simply unacceptable for Washington. You have a big lineup in the game, and you give up 4 offensive rebounds to Colorado and 5 shots for them. Eventually, one of them's going to fall, and you give up a foul with it. It's just unacceptable, especially from Reese and Mulkey inside. Just not enough effort on box outs to get those rebounds.
Colorado and Washington will both send a few subs in there as Lutele awaits at the free throw line to take her shot. It's 10-3 Colorado with 3 minutes left to go in this first quarter.
Oliver enters the game for Schwartz on the Washington side.
Lutele's free throw will rim out just a little bit, and so Washington will get the rebound and go on the offensive as TT Watkins now has the ball on the left wing, and she'll pass it to Van Dyke. We'll get it to Oliver on the right wing. Oliver looking around for someone to pass to. Van Dyke now on the left wing, gets it into Reese at the left elbow. We'll put a few post moves on Miller and go for the layup, but that one won't go as the ball gets knocked out of bounds by Watkins going for the rebound, and so Colorado will take possession of the ball. Mulkey now coming back in the game for Reese.
I'll tell you what, this game should be a lot closer. Washington has had a lot of good looks, but they're only 1 for their first 12 shots in this first quarter. Score is 10-3 Colorado.
Colorado taking their time a little bit here now as Jalen Sherrod brings the ball up. Gets it to Finau, who passes it to Miller on the left wing. Miller gets it back to Finau, who takes a 3, a couple steps off the line, but that one will bounce off the back of the rim as Hollingshed gets the rebound. Finau now directing the offense for Colorado. She'll pass it to Sherrod in the right wing. Sherrod will dribble in, gets the kick to the corner for Sadler, who will miss the 3 there, but Miller once again will get the offensive board. Mulkey will take that one away from Miller as Washington moves now with 1:55 left to go.
That's what we need to see from Mulkey. She gets double teamed. You got to be tough in there. Even though you're tall, you still got to box out and get those rebounds.
Peterson with the quick layup there for Washington with the assist from Van Dyke. So making it 10-5 with a minute and 40 seconds left to go. Miller gets it into Hollingshed, who's working on Van Dyke there. Hollingshed puts one up, and she'll knock that one in.
Hollingshed showing off the post moves there. A little up fake going to her left hand.
Washington now coming down the court. Van Dyke with it, pass it to Peterson, then to Oliver on the right wing. Mulkey looking to pass at the three-point line. Van Dyke fakes the shot, then dribbles in. Tries to pass it to Mulkey. Will make it through a couple of Colorado hands as Peterson gets it at the right on the left wing. She'll pass it to Van Dyke, who will almost make the three, but that one will just bounce out as Colorado gets the rebound. Sherrod now heading down the other way. She'll get it to Finau in the corner, she will miss the three as well. Hollingshed gets the rebound. Sherrod will pass it to Sadler.
Great ball movement from Colorado. They just got to shoot the shot.
Sadler now gets it to Miller on the left wing. Back to Sadler at the top of the key, and she'll shoot the three but won't get it. But Hollingshed had another offensive rebound, but she cannot get the layup either. And so Washington will take possession with 25 seconds left to go. As Peterson will put up a three, and that one will go in, making it 12-8. 15 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Sherrod taking her time, allowing Colorado to set it up for the last shot of the quarter. Sadler now with the ball at the top of the key. She'll dribble down to the block, back out to Miller at the top of the key for the three. Miller will miss, she'll get her own rebound, but time will run out before she gets the shot up. So at the end of this first quarter, it is 12-8 Colorado.
I think our prediction of a low-scoring game is off to a good start.
I think that prediction's looking pretty good right now.
Tell you what, it just looks like where Washington is getting beat is on the boards. They're waiting for rebounds to fall to them. They're not going to shots that are going up and they're just waiting for the ball to come to them.
Hollingshed already with 7 rebounds in this first quarter. I mean, we watched her do it a bunch there. Offensive rebound after offensive rebound for Hollingshed. And it's interesting that she's getting those rebounds because, like you mentioned, Washington has Mulkey, who's 6'9". You know, it's hard to out-rebound someone who's 6'9", but Hollingshed is finding a way to do it here in this game.
Well, you think that, but the thing about it is Mulkey isn't being aggressive. She's standing there waiting for the ball to come to her and not jumping, going to grab for the ball, and that's why Colorado has 11 offensive rebounds through the first quarter.
Well, both of these teams really struggling offensively to get points up. Lots of shots taken, lots of shots missed. We will see if either of these teams can correct either of those things in the second quarter, but for now we'll take a short break. welcome back into Las Vegas, Nevada, the Pac-12 Women's Basketball Tournament. I'm Tia Reed here with Walker Smith for Blaze Radio. First game kicking things off, Colorado versus Washington, 5 seed versus the 12 seed. Not much happened there in that first quarter, but now we're getting started with some second quarter action as Colorado begins with possession here. Lasila Finau will pass it to Gerard, who'll get it into Hollingshed at the corner. Hollingshed will try to get the reverse layup, but she will miss there as Schwartz able to get the rebound for Washington. Gets it to Oliver, who will bring the ball up for the Huskies. Oliver working through some tough defense. She'll get a screen from her teammate as Foreman will run into the screen and get the foul called on her. So Washington will be able to reset their offense a little bit from beneath the basket. The inbounds play. Oliver looking for someone to get it into. She'll find Noble in the right corner. Finau playing some tough defense, but there will be a foul called on her as well as she tried to stop the ball from getting in. So Washington will get another chance at the inbounds play.
Tell you what, this deficit for Washington could be a lot worse than 4 right now with the way they're playing. They're lucky to still be in it. They just got to capitalize on their possessions now.
Oliver directing traffic, trying to get the ball in, but that'll be a 5-second call with that defense by Colorado, and so they'll be able to take possession without Washington even able to get a shot up there.
So much for capitalizing on possession. Washington, they just have to be sharper right now if they want to continue to stay in this game. Colorado is allowing them to be in this game just because they're missing their easy looks as well.
For now, we'll pass it to Hollingshed, who'll get it into Ludele, but there'll be a tip ball, and so it'll be a turnover there.
Good tip by Noble.
Washington takes possession. Noble there, looking for passes. Schwartz with the cut, tries to get the layup, but she'll miss that one as Hollingshed gets the rebound and pushing the pace for the Buffs. Finds the pass to Finau, who gets it to Hollingshed, who misses a shot. So Washington will head back the other direction as Oliver now with the ball, gets it to Noble. We'll find Schwartz at the top. Schwartz looking for someone to pass the ball to as Noble comes to the right wing, and Mulkey will take a shot from just inside the three-point line there for Washington, making it 12-10 with 8.5 minutes left to go.
Mulkey was screaming for the ball on that possession. Finally got it and decided to shoot it.
So now we'll pass it to Hollingshed. We'll get it to Foreman on the right wing. Foreman trying to create some space. She'll try to dump it off to Lutele, but another turnover there for Colorado as Oliver will now bring the ball up for Washington. Will find Mulkey at the top of the key. Oliver now with the ball back, directing the Huskies offense here as she'll pass it to Mulkey. Will take another three, but she won't get that one there as Hollingshed gets another rebound and passes it to Finau, who passes it to Foreman, then to Sherrod at the top of the key there. Sherrod will find Lutele at the elbow, will find Sherrod cutting towards the basket. She'll take a shot and she'll get the foul called there. So she will head to the line and shoot 2.
So first team foul of the quarter for Washington. Still a close game here. Colorado leads 12-10 with 7:40 left in the half. And we're starting to see a little bit more effort from this Washington team, specifically from Mulkey down there in the post, who just got subbed off. But she's starting to put a little more effort into it, and that's what they need out of her. They need her to be aggressive down there in the post.
They definitely need Mulkey as that force down low. As Sherrod, she missed her first free throw, but she'll make the second one, making it 13-10. Van Dyke now with the ball for Washington as they start moving into their offensive set. Reese with it, just inside the three-point line. She'll find Schwartz coming across. Schwartz will get to the hoop. She'll put one up and won't get that one either. As Sherrod now pushing the pace for Colorado. She'll look to find Weta on the right wing. Weta now now looking for a shot. She'll kick it to Lutele down low, and Lutele will get the shot up, and it's good there for Colorado. So now 15-10 with 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Van Dyke with the ball once again for the Huskies. She'll find Schwartz at the top of the key, Weta defending. She'll kick it to Oliver on the right wing. Oliver will get it to Watkins, who finds Schwartz on the left side. Van Dyke now with it once again. Reese trying to find some space. She'll get some outside the three-point line and put a shot up, but not able to get that one for the Huskies. And Sherrod with another rebound. Sherrod now dribbling as Colorado sets up their offense. Sherrod will try to get to the hoop, but
I think we're going to have an illegal screen. Quay Miller shuffled her feet a little bit on the back screen, and that'll be another Colorado turnover. Colorado is single-handedly keeping Washington in this game right now.
Despite the full court pressure, Washington able to get the ball up the court just fine. Van Dyke on the right wing, moving around, trying to find space. She'll take it down to the corner, and she'll pass it back up to Schwartz. At the top, we'll find Reese down low. Reese tries to put the shot up, but the block there by Lutele. As Sherrod takes it back to the other side for Colorado. Miller sets the screen. And Sherrod will pass it out to Finau on the left side. Finau puts the mid-range jumper up. That one won't go in. And then there'll be a jump ball called down and the rebound there.
Session will go to the Huskies.
Like you said, Colorado single-handedly keeping Washington in this game with the turnovers, with the missed shots, but Washington not able to capitalize much either as they're missing quite a few shots on their own side.
Washington's only shooting 19%, and there's her second turnover of the game.
Kendall Weta with her first steal. She'll get the fast break layup for the quick possession for the Buffs. Oliver now looking for somewhere to go with the ball. She'll get it to Reese just inside the three-point line. We'll pass it down to Watkins. There'll be Watkins trying to go for the shot. Sherrod with the block. A lot of contact. Looked like there might have been a foul. She got pushed by one of the Washington players, and now we've got some conflicts here happening as refs try to keep the two camps separated.
That was a hard block by Sherrod coming up behind the Washington player, and it looked like there was contact. They didn't get the call. Coach Langley clearly upset about it, and the Washington players were upset about the contact.
To top it all off, looks like the refs called the possession for Washington. So
Coach Langley is halfway to the half line here. And we're going to call a timeout, and they're going to review the shot. I believe Langley just screamed at the officials to go look at that call. Maybe they're looking for a flagrant on Sherrod or whoever started the conflict.
Either way, the referees will head to this side of the court.
So you heard that right there. They're looking to see if there was inadvertent contact by Sherrod coming up behind the shooter. It was T.T. Watkins that went in for the drive and had the hard contact. So while they look at that, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We are back live here from the Michelob Ultra Arena in the Tournament of the Conference of Champions. Looking at a review on looked like a hard foul by Sherrod of Colorado on T.T. Watkins of Washington on a drive. Sherrod kind of slapped the back of T.T. Watkins' arm as she was driving in. We're about to get an explanation from the official, except we're just going to get immediate timeout.
Well, that foul, like you said, it looked like a hard foul, but I mean, real time there was no call by the referees, so there was not a foul called. So Coach Langley for Washington very upset about the no call, able to get the refs to take another look to review something.
The only issue is I don't believe a foul is that I think they were looking for a flagrant foul, because I don't believe they can assess a foul on a play that's already been called, since there's no foul challenges like there is in the NBA and NCAA women's basketball. So I think they were just looking for intentional flagrant contact, which I don't think it was a flagrant foul from behind, but it's a missed call regardless.
Well, after the play happened, the no call, the hard foul, the Washington and Colorado players looked to be going at it a little bit. No physical, not a lot of physical contact between the two, but definitely some words exchanged and some hostilities that were taking place. So maybe they were reviewing something within there right after the play.
They haven't given us an explanation yet. We're sitting right behind the replay review, so we're able to pick up on what they're saying, but they never gave an explanation. I'm assuming it's just going to be the same, and it's going to be Colorado ball out of a timeout because they can't charge a foul, and they didn't announce any flagrant fouls going into the immediate timeout. So Colorado should have the ball up 7 with 5:18 left to go in the first half of play. Let me reset you right here. Both teams not playing very well offensively. Washington shooting 4 for 21, while Colorado is shooting 7 for 27 to start this game. Neither team shooting above 25%. Washington had missed 0 of their last 4 and haven't made a bucket in 3.5 minutes. It's
certainly been an ugly game offensively for both sides. Lots of missed easy shots. Wide open three-point shots, wide open layups even with a clear path to the basket that just they couldn't get to fall. So I'm sure both teams will be looking to remedy that as they try to finish out this first half, and surely once they go into the locker room at the halftime break.
Looks like Sherrod is about to be under the basket to pass it in. Although Washington's running up the court like it's their ball. No, it will be their ball. They're going to call that Sherrod blocked it out of bounds. So Washington will keep the possession.
No foul assessed still, though. So Washington will look to pass it in to get this possession going. And they'll get a 5-second call immediately to start out of that media timeout. Sherrod smiling at the defense that her team played there. And she'll take the ball up for Colorado.
It's Washington's second 5-second violation on an inbound. It's just unacceptable.
Weta now with the ball, gets to Hollingshead at the right elbow. Hollingshead taking it up, but she'll get blocked by Mulkey there down low in the paint. And so Washington able to get possession. And Lauren Schwartz will bring it up. Schwartz passes it to Mulkey, who gets it to Schwartz on the give and go, and she'll get that one in easily there for the Huskies, making it 17-12, 4 minutes and 45 seconds left to go.
Great two-man game from the Rice transfers.
Jones passes it to Weta on the right wing. Weta will put up a mid-range shot, and that one will fall in. Washington now headed back the other way. Van Dyke with the ball for the Huskies. She'll get it to Schwartz on the left wing. Weta with the active hands on defense. Back to Van Dyke at the top of the key to Watkins in the right corner. He'll shoot the three, and that one will fall. Colorado now back the other direction. Sherrod finds Miller down low, just a little bit too high on the pass, and so that one will fall out of bounds off the tip of Miller's fingers, and Washington will get another chance on offense.
It looks like that scrum might have energized this game a little bit. It certainly energized Washington as they've gone on a 5-2 run here coming out of that break.
19-15, Colorado up with about 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Miller there will get the steal after Noble tried to pass it to Van Dyke on the wing. Miller will find Weta outside the perimeter. He'll get it to Sherrod to set up the offense. Sherrod now with it, dribbling down to the middle. Change of pace there, trying to get the ball up to the rim, but that one won't go in as Mulkey gets the rebound. Colorado come with the full court pressure, and so Sherrod will get the steal as her team will come back down the court to set up offensively. Sherrod directing traffic. She'll get it to Miller outside. So Miller will pass it to Weta on the left wing. Weta will pass it back to Miller. He'll try to find some space. Weta now gets it to Hollingshed, who finds Sherrod on the right wing. Sherrod kicks it out to Weta for the three. And that one will go off the back of the rim as Hollingshed tries to get the rebound. A little tied up there with Missy Peterson for the Huskies. So there'll be a foul called on Peterson, and so Colorado will take the ball out of bounds underneath the basket.
Great effort play there from Hollingshed, who has really struggled to start this game. She's only one of her first 9 field goal attempts, but she's been crashing the boards, has 9 rebounds already.
Sherrod passed it into Weta on the inbound, who finds Hollingshed at the left wing. Miller now with it on the left corner, shoots the three, won't get it. Hollingshed with another rebound, but Washington will get the takeaway, and then Jones trying to defend in the backcourt. That'll be a foul called on her. So now Washington will get to reset and get a little bit of space to bring this ball up here with just under 3 minutes left to go.
This game is feeling like it's getting a little personal out there on the court. A lot of hard fouls coming on off-ball plays. One thing that Colorado has been doing is they pressure every time Washington comes down with the rebound, and they're making them pass out of it.
Colorado looked to be backing off a little bit, but they step back up into the backcourt, and so Washington will face some pressure all the way up, but they'll get it to the front court, no problem, as Oliver moves the ball around, gets it to Noble on the right wing, and she'll cut down to the middle and try to put the layup up, but won't get it, but she'll get her own rebound there. She'll find Mulkey just outside the paint. Mulkey trying to get the turnaround jumper, but that one won't get to the rim.
Some air ball chants here from the band of Colorado chanting air ball. Mulkey was not a good look. She had the shot she wanted, just short-armed it.
Colorado band representing the student section for the Buffs at Sherrod now with the ball.
Colorado hasn't scored in 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Colorado will pass it around just a little bit, trying to find a place to get the ball in offensively as Lutele will get it to Finau deep into the paint. They'll have to kick it back out and get it to Hollingshed, who finds Weta underneath the basket. Weta gets the mid-range jumper and puts it in. Weta has been a big help for this Colorado offense so far through this first half here.
That's the second time that shot has been there between the two-man low post game that Miller and Weta play, where Miller will post up and then just dump it off to Weta, who cuts in and throws up a floater.
Mulkey with the ball in the inside, 2 Colorado defenders on her, and there'll be a foul there called on Weta. I think she got a piece of Mulkey's face there. She was trying to defend the ball with her hands up. Big height difference there. 5'9", 6'9", about a foot difference. So now, with that being the 5th foul on Colorado, Mulkey will step to the free throw line to shoot 2. She'll knock in that first one, making it 21-16 with 1:40 left to go.
Mulkey only a 65% free throw shooter, but gets them both.
No problem there. She knocks in the second one as well. Sherrod now moving the offense for Colorado. Finau will find Weta in the right corner. Weta will try to drive baseline, but she'll be stopped there by Noble. It's Noble with the quick hands, causes Colorado to make a turnover. So Washington will now get the ball. There was a good defensive possession there by Noble on the right side of the court. And she'll now pass it into Oliver.
Washington, they're showing the flashes of the energy they need to get ahead in this game, and Colorado just isn't able to put the nail in the coffin when they aren't showing that energy. It's only 21-17 with 1:15 left in the half.
Washington playing outside the three-point line there, and gets it to Oliver down low. She'll go for the layup, but will miss that one.
Ooh, Oliver's going to be kicking herself for missing that one. She got the foul and was wide open for that layup and just short-armed it. But she'll be at the line for 2 shots.
Frida Foreman will come in for Jalen Sherrod. And Tamia Sadler will take the court for Lasila Finau. As Oliver will be at the free throw line to shoot 2. She'll miss the first one as the Colorado band tries to serve as some sort of distraction method there. Using all the space behind the basket, making some noise, waving their hands. And it works as Oliver misses both free throws there. Weta taking some cues from Coach Payne as she brings the ball up for Colorado.
When you put a distraction like the Colorado band up for a 56% free throw shooter, odds are she's not going to make it.
Weta tries to shoot 3. That one looked like it was going to go in, but ended up bouncing out of the rim. Washington able to get possession of the ball as they'll move the ball up the court now here.
They got a chance for a 2-for-1, 45 seconds left.
Van Dyke will get it to Oliver. But Lutele will get the steal there as Oliver tried to pass it back to Van Dyke. But the travel for Lutele as Oliver played some good face-up defense on the fast break. And so now with 36 seconds left to go, Washington will get another shot to put some points on the board.
6-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
Oliver looking to pass it to Mulkey, covered, so she'll get it to Noble. Weta with the quick hands, making it a problem for Noble trying to keep possession. And Noble will just miss the pass to Van Dyke. Van Dyke started to cut. Noble passed it behind her, and so off of the tip of Van Dyke's fingers, the ball will go out of bounds. Colorado with 13.3 seconds left to go, up by 4, will try to get the last shot of the half. Weta bringing the ball up. Miller directing from off ball. Weta tries to find something. She'll get the mid-range. Will miss it, but it'll go. The rebound will come right back to her. She'll put up another one, but that one won't go either. And time will run out. So heading into the locker room, Colorado up 21-17. And this offensively, this game has not been very active. Both teams have struggled in putting shots up. Colorado shooting just 25% from the field. Washington shooting 23.1%. Not a lot of offense happening, but a lot of defense here at Michelob Ultra Arena.
Well, let's just call a spade a spade. It hasn't been a good game for either team so far. Both teams have turned the ball over a whole bunch of times. Colorado has 8 turnovers to Washington's 7. But Washington should be thanking their lucky stars. They are only down 4 in this game, as they've been out-rebounded 31-18. Colorado's just been strong on the boards, but neither team has been able to get shots to go. Ugly first half here in Vegas.
Kendall Weta, the freshman, leading Colorado in points right now. She has 8 for the Buffaloes. Like we mentioned before, Kendall Weta, you look for her on defense, certainly, as she made the all-defensive team. She was on the all-freshman team. Didn't expect too much from her offensively, but she really is making a difference here for Colorado, helping push them to lead this game right now.
With that, we will take a break for halftime. We'll come back to you on the other side. Colorado leads 21-17 as we hit the halfway point in Game 1 of the Pac-12 tournament. Welcome back to Blaze Radio Online here for Blaze's coverage of the Pac-12 Women's Tournament here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Here at Tia Reed, I'm Walker Smith to bring you the second half of our first matchup as number 12 Washington trails number 5 seeded Colorado here as we're through one half of play. And Tia, let me just say it was an ugly first half for both teams.
Oh, absolutely. Lots of missed shots, missed layups. I mean, the Colorado's certainly not looking like themselves, and even Washington, being at the bottom of the pack, not looking like what they have throughout this season.
Colorado's going to start with the ball. She'll give it inside to Tudele to start. Kicks back out. Sadler gives over to the left side. Back to Sadler at the top of the key. Goes back out. Tudele, top. Dribbles to her left. Goes over to the left side. Sherrod gets back to Tudele. A nice pass goes inside. Rejected by Mulkey, but we're going to have a foul called. Foul's going to be called on Noble of Washington. That's going to be Noble's first foul, and that'll put Tudele at the line.
Not a good start there for Washington on defense, giving up a quick foul to start off the quarter.
It's Tudele's first shots from the free throw line, and she goes 1 for 2. Scores 23. Scores 23 to 17 as we're 30 seconds into the third quarter of play. Colorado leads Washington's first possession of the half. Oliver at the top, looking for someone to pass to. Guarded close by Finau. Swings over to Mulkey on the right wing. A quick handoff to Schwartz. Schwartz will drive into the paint. Good pump fake. Goes inside and puts in a nice pass for Mulkey, who has an easy layup. Washington on the board to start the second half. And here comes a three-point shot from Sherrod, who hits nothing but nylon. Her first three of the ball game.
Both teams getting quick offensive starts here, trying to remedy what we saw in the first half where shots were just not falling.
Schwartz gives it over Mulkey. Mulkey's just going to lob a pass over to Van Dyke in the corner that almost goes out. Van Dyke's going to bring it back up to the left wing. Oliver gives top of the key back to Van Dyke. Gets a screen from Mulkey. Hollingshed goes over top of it. Van Dyke tries a hard fadeaway, no good. A fight for the rebound, and Washington comes up with a good fight there by Schwartz in the paint. Swings back out to Oliver for the second possession. Gets a screen from Mulkey. Doesn't really use it. Goes back out. Noble swings to Schwartz. A good cut inside by Oliver. A good pump fake. Goes up and finishes. Oliver, a nice layup there. Colorado's going to try and get the pace going quickly. They go inside Tudele. She's guarded by Mulkey. Swing back out Finau. And that's going to be a kick ball. Good feet by Noble to stop the play. 8 minutes and 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Scored 26 to 21 in favor of the Buffs. Sherrod gets the inbound from Finau. Going to set up the offense. Finau goes in motion across the court. Swings over the right side to the recently entered, that's actually Tudele. Goes out to Finau. Finau can't get the shot. Oliver gets the rebound. Van Dyke's going to push the pace on the right side. She's picked up by Finau. Gives back out Oliver, who almost loses the ball, but is able to hold on to it. Gives over into the paint. Mulkey's going to dribble to her left. Back out, fires a 20-footer that hits only the bottom of the net. Doesn't go in. Now Hollingshed pushing the pace. Goes inside on a reverse layup off the feed. That's Sadler who gets a bucket. Oliver now pushing it up. Going to slow it down. 28-21 Colorado. Mulkey on the inside. Going to get pushed back out to the elbow. A nice high pass to Van Dyke inside. She gets doubled. Looking for a way to go up. It tries to throw it off a Colorado defender in Sadler, but Sadler gets it and brings it up. Gives over. Hollingshed on the right elbow. Thought about a shot. Gives it back out to Tudele, who hands it back out to Sherrod. Shot Hollingshed's going to drive to her right. Gets double teamed and is swamped as she drives to the basket. It's going to be a jump ball. Oliver tied her up.
We've seen it, but we haven't talked much about it. This Colorado defense is suffocating. They are playing tight defense on ball. They're playing tight defense off ball. It gets kicked down into the paint. They are on it, double teams. Colorado has been excellent defensively, and that has definitely helped contribute to Washington's only putting up 17 points in the first half.
They haven't been capitalizing on the offensive end, but their defense has been stellar as Washington gets the ball off the jump. Reese, who had just entered the game, is going to hand it off to Oliver. Oliver on the left wing. And we're going to have an off-the-ball foul going to be called on Jalen Sherrod. That's the second foul on the Buffaloes for the quarter, actually make it the first. So Washington will get the ball under the basket. Oliver's going to pass it in. Trinity Oliver looking for someone to pass to. He's got to get it out quickly. It goes into the corner. That's Darcy Reese. Reese looking for someone to pass to. Almost gives it away, but finds way into the hands of Noble. Noble is going to give over to Schwartz. Schwartz swing to the corner. Right side, Van Dyke. Van Dyke looking to drive, gets pushed back out, gets a screen, goes up. A nice pass and gets the bucket. That's Mulkey inside off a great lob pass from Van Dyke.
Able to get the points there, but Noble almost missed. Noble really missed one there as Quay Miller got beat. Not able to get the pass in there, but able to get it later on and get the points there.
Hollingshed missed an easy shot inside. It has not been her night on the offensive end. Washington has the ball again, 28-23 in favor of Colorado. Oliver with the ball, swings Noble off a handoff. Noble's going to drive to right, almost loses the ball, is going to dump it out, and they're going to say it was tipped off of Hollingshed. Washington's going to keep the possession. Couple of subs. Excuse me, keep going.
Kendall Wetta now coming back into the game. She has led this team offensively despite being a defensive force for most of the season. She had 8 in the first half, average is only about 4, really showing off here on offense and helping them lead this game.
Wetta has 8 points in the contest, has been probably the best player on the floor for either team, and we're going to have an off-ball charge. Actually, no, it's going to be a shove. It's going to be called on Tayana Jones. No, it's going to be called on Kendall Wetta for an off-ball shove. Game's starting to get a bit more aggressive, and Washington trying to go on a run and keep themselves in this game. Oliver inbounds Van Dyke, thinks about a shot on the right wing, gets picked up quickly by Tudele. Van Dyke picks up her dribble, gives over to Schwartz. Schwartz drives, thinks about mid-range, goes inside to Reese. Reese doesn't put it up, swings back out. Schwartz from the left elbow, can't get it to go off the back iron. No good. Here comes Colorado. They're going to push the pace quickly. Wetta gives over on the right side for a 3. No good. Shot was taken by Foreman. Washington's going to push the pace himself. It's Van Dyke. Gives over to Oliver. Swing right side. Noble. Noble looking for Van Dyke inside. Doesn't give it to her. Noble looking for a cutter. Picks up her dribble. Gives over to Van Dyke. She's going to drive on the right baseline and gets the easy layup. Wetta was trying to guard Van Dyke, but Van Dyke got the first step. Score 28-25 now with under 5 to play in the third. Wetta gives inside Tudele, just on the left elbow. Looking for a cutter, gives back out. That's Miller. Miller gives it over to Foreman. Foreman drives, across the paint, goes up Wetta. Wetta short on the floater, but Miller comes in for the offensive board. Back out Tudele, swing over to Jones. Back to Wetta at the top, and they're going to reset with 13 on the shot clock, 4:20 on the game clock, 10 seconds on the shot clock now. Foreman almost gives it away. Wetta with 5 seconds back at the half-court line is going to drive out. Miller with 2 seconds on the shot clock, a 3, hits it, nothing but nylon.
That was a wild possession there for Colorado, trying to get it in at the last second, but that ball movement that we've seen throughout this game for them really helped in being able to find Miller open for the 3.
Very important shot for Colorado to push their lead back to 6. Oliver gives it over to Noble. Noble at the top of the key with 10 seconds. He's going to try and run a play. Gives over to Oliver on the right side. Gets a screen from Reese. She's going to drive to her left. Kicks back out. That Schwartz can't answer on a corner 3. And here comes Colorado now. Wetta is trying to go coast to coast. Was looking for a dump off to Miller, but it goes out of bounds. And we're going to have immediate timeout as Hollingshed checks into the game. Score 31-25 in favor of the Buffs with 3:31 to play in the quarter. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Conference of Champions women's basketball Pac-12 tournament here in Las Vegas. We've got number 12 Washington versus number 5 Colorado coming out of immediate timeout.
Oliver gets the ball. Colorado continuing to full court pressure. Washington's going to bring it up on the possession out of the timeout. Oliver at the top of the key. Off-ball screen and some off-ball contact. Schwartz and Weta collided. And they're going to call a foul on Weta as she's going to be called for a block.
Getting a little tied up there on the right side of the court. Weta plays aggressive defense like the rest of this Colorado team. Didn't see it a whole lot in the first half with the fouls. Now it seems they're starting to come out a little bit more.
Game is going to get more and more physical as it gets down to it. Colorado leads 31-25. Washington with the ball, 19 seconds on the shot clock, 3:15 on the game clock in the third quarter, and we're going to have another foul. This one's going to be called on Sherrod for a reach. Colorado's starting to pick up fouls. It's their 4th team foul of the quarter. Peterson to inbound for Washington. Gives it into Schwartz. Schwartz baseline, looking for a reverse. Goes up, hits it, and one.
They're going to call the defensive foul there, but I saw Schwartz going under the basket. She kind of hooked. She kind of hooked around Sherrod there with her left arm as she was going for the reverse on the other side. Nonetheless, they'll call the defensive foul there.
Sneaky play by Schwartz as she converts the three-point play. She's only 2 for 11 tonight, but those are 3 clutch points to bring Washington back within 3 of the Buffaloes. A good pass over to Miller off a driving Sherrod. Ball's on the ground now. Washington picks it up, and we're going to have a foul called on Sherrod as she and Mulkey got tied up. And Sherrod is livid with the officials.
That's a tough play there for Sherrod. 5'7". Once again, we've said it time and time again. Mulkey's tall. She's really, really tall. And that's a hard play for the guard, trying to defend there, trying to reach up to get the jump ball. She's going to grab arm. Mulkey gets the foul call, and Colorado's hit 5. So Mulkey will get to shoot 2, and Colorado's shooting 2 for the rest of this quarter.
Mulkey not a great three-point free throw shooter. She's 1 for 2 on the night. Make it 2 for 3 to bring Washington back within 2 with 3:01 left in the third quarter. And Mulkey rattles the second one home as well. 1-point game here in Vegas in game 1 of the Pac-12 women's tournament. Colorado leads 31-30. Finau gives up top. Sherrod goes inside. That's Hollingshed on the left elbow. Hands off Finau. The ball is tapped around. It's going to be on the ground, and we're going to have a foul called. It's going to be on T.T. Watkins. Second team foul for Washington in the quarter. Sherrod gets the inbound for Colorado. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Finau fakes a shot on the right elbow. Is going to try and drive past. Throws up a wild layup. No good. Washington with a chance to take the lead here. Oliver with the ball is going to bring it up off the full court pressure from Sherrod, who's called for a push-off. Doesn't get it. The battle continues. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Swings over. A shot from Mulkey for 3, and she hits it. The 6'9" center from deep gives Washington the lead, 33-31. 2:10 left in the third quarter. Finau gives it inside. Hollingshed kicks back out. Tudele, and they're going to try and run a play. Hollingshed trying to answer over Myrtle, and answers right in her face. Colorado retakes the lead, 34-33. This game's starting to heat up here. Peterson brings it up for Washington. Hand off over to Schwartz, gives over Oliver. Oliver guarded. Gives over Mulkey. Oliver's going to fire 3 from the top of the key and hits it as well. Back-to-back threes for Washington. And this game's going back and forth now. Colorado's pushing it quickly. Kick back out. Hollingshed tries another 3. Bang!
4 in a row there between these two teams. Couldn't get much going from the field, but they've got it from behind the arc.
Hollingshed with 2 straight threes for Colorado. Mulkey now with 1:15 left. Colorado leads 37-36 in the third quarter. Oliver looking for someone to kick to off a picked up dribble. Schwartz is going to fire a three, and it gets caught in a wedgie on the rim. Time to calm down here in this one as this game just picked up quickly.
Man, that one looked like it was going to go in, and then all of a sudden just gets stuck right there. You can hear the crowd let out a laugh.
Always fun to see a wedgie in a college basketball game. A minute left in the third quarter. Colorado leads 37-36. Sauter goes inside. Hollingshed gets back out. Tootele. Hollingshed's going to try another three, and she has hit 3 in a row for Colorado. 40-36, 45 seconds left in the third. Washington with the ball. And it took Hollingshed a little bit, but she has finally caught fire here in this third quarter. Oliver gives over Mulkey on the left wing. Looking to hand back off, 30 seconds on the game clock, 10 on the shot clock. Oliver travels in, kicks back out. Peterson for 3, and she hits it as well. Both teams unconscious from deep here in Michelob Ultra Arena. 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Colorado leads 40-39. Sherrod with the ball at the top of the key. 5 seconds now, gives over Hollingshed. She gets doubled in the corner, kicks back out. A three from Colorado hits nothing but air and is going to go out of bounds. And we head to the fourth quarter in a close game.
Well, from watching those last 2 minutes, it is clear that March is upon us. Back-to-back threes, answering shots. We've got a 1-point game with the 5 seed and the 12 seed here. Lots of energy at Michelob Ultra Arena as we will take a break before we head into the fourth quarter of action.
We're back here in Michelob Ultra Arena, and we got a good one in Game 1 of the Pac-12 Women's Basketball Tournament. Bottom-seeded Washington is playing number 5-seeded Colorado to 1 through 3 quarters. Score 40-39 as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Washington with the ball. Oliver inside on the left block. Goes up and takes the lead for Washington, and she's fired up as well. 41-40. Kicks back out. Sherrod can't get it to go. That was Salter, but an offensive board inside by Tudele, and she puts it back in to retake the lead for Colorado. Oliver with the ball, swings over to Van Dyke, gives on the left side. Schwartz holding the ball, waiting for the play to develop, gives over to Noble on the right. Not a whole lot of movement. Noble on the elbow. 13 seconds on the shot clock, gives out Oliver. She thinks about it, but it's quickly picked up by Sherrod. Almost throws it away, but Schwartz is there to pick it up. 5 seconds on the shot clock. She drives. A right elbow jumper with 3, and she hits it. Retakes the lead for Washington. Schwartz starting to wake up. A nice feed inside Tudele. Off a cross-court pass from Sherrod, retakes the lead for Colorado.
Colorado doing a great job of answering Washington's shots to keep their lead here. Both teams moving pretty fast. They'll look to slow things down a little bit, try to get some control of the game.
It took 2.5 quarters for both teams to wake up, but boy, have they woken up now. Inside on the paint is Mulkey. Mulkey gives it over to Oliver, but it's stripped away by Sherrod. Sherrod, a 3-on-2 break. Going to take it herself, gives off Tudele. Tudele can't get the bucket to go. A fight for the board. Salter comes up with it, goes inside Tudele, and she's going to be fouled and going to be sent to the line for 2 shots.
This Colorado bench is energized. They are hyped up and excited and watching that last possession.
Tudele is going to be at the line for 2 shots. This is her 4th and 5th free throw of the night. She's 2 for 3. Make it 2 for 4.
Tudele has had a quiet but good performance for this team here throughout this game. We haven't said her name too much. Certainly not during that stretch of 3-point shots to end the third, but she's been a big help for Colorado here and where they are right now.
Missing 2 free throws isn't going to help, but Colorado gets the offensive board. Unacceptable for Washington. Tudele from the corner 3, and she hits it as well. It's raining threes here in Vegas, and a timeout's going to be called by Washington. Colorado leads 47-43 with 8:03 left to play in the ball game. And we'll take a quick break to catch our breath. This is Blaze Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada in the Michelob Ultra Arena, where things are heating up here in Game 1 of the Pac-12 Women's Tournament. Colorado currently leads bottom-seeded Washington 47-43 with 8:03 left in the fourth quarter. Washington going to inbound the ball in their own half. Full court press from Colorado. They get it into Schwartz, handoff Noble, and Noble's going to bring it up to reset. Picked up by Foreman, swings over to Oliver. Oliver and Sherrod have been going at it all day today. Handoff Schwartz. Schwartz at the top of the key, going to give over to Noble. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Schwartz pump fake, going to drive baseline. Kicks back out, Reese. Reese tries a three, looks good, but it's too long. Offensive rebound falls to Washington. Van Dyke gets it, gives it over to Oliver, and Oliver is going to be Colorado players, and Colorado is going to get the ball off the jump.
This Colorado defense is going to be crucial coming down these final 7.5 minutes. We saw it in that third quarter. They were active, they were aggressive, but they got a lot of quick fouls. No fouls called through these first 2.5 minutes so far. They'll look to keep it that way and keep up the aggression.
A three-point shot is going to be tried by Colorado. Noble comes down with the rebound. Shot was taken by Frida Foreman. Here comes Oliver. 7:13 left in the game. Buffs lead 47-43. Van Dyke swings right side. That's Schwartz. Schwartz gets a screen from Reese. Doesn't use it. Gives over to Noble. Left side goes top of the key to Reese. Reese picked up by Hollingshed. Reese trying to give it off. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Noble drives to her left. Fires up an 8-footer. Gets the shooter's roll. 45-47 in favor of the Buffs. Colorado's going to bring it up. 6:45 left in the fourth quarter. Foreman on the right side trying to drive baseline, gets rejected by Schwartz, swings back out to Sadler. Sadler at the top of the key, calls out a motion, gives over Sherrod on the left wing, picked up by Oliver, gives back to the top. Sadler with 8 seconds on the shot clock, drives right past Noble and throws up a nice floater, a tough shot from Sadler.
Noble in a really good defensive position there, but just not able to get her hands up quite fast enough. Colorado gets the shot, gets the make there.
Van Dyke's going to try a three from the top of the key and hits it. Hit nothing but the bottom of the net, and it's a one-point game again. 6 minutes left in the fourth. There was a drive called. Jalen Sherrod went quickly to the bucket, missed the shot, and it's going to go out of bounds. I believe it went out of bounds off of Hollingshed. Although Oliver was there, almost tapped it out, they're going to say it's Washington ball.
Sherrod arguing with the ref there, trying to get Colorado possession back, but the ref not having any of it. Ball will go to Washington instead of staying with Colorado.
Sherrod and Tudele are going to take a seat on the bench for Miller, as well as Weta, and the ball storms over here off of the inbound tip. Washington's going to get the ball under the basket. Actually, no, it's going to say it was tipped off of Washington lost the handle, so Colorado's going to get it under 6 to play. Buffs lead 49-48. Foreman with the ball at the top of the key, goes inside Hollingshed. Hollingshed kicks back out. A three-point shot by Colorado is good. Tamia Sadler answers Van Dyke's three, back up to a 4-point lead for Colorado. Oliver with the ball. Tudele already back at the scorer's table, getting ready to come in. Van Dyke at the top, thought about a shot, but she's picked up by Miller. Gets a screen from Oliver, switches on to Weta. Good size mismatch for Van Dyke. Van Dyke, but Weta with the steal right out of Van Dyke's hands. Great play there by Kendall Weta. Swings left side. Foreman goes back up top. Hollingshed swings Weta on the right side, and there Weta's going to call out a play. 20 seconds on the game clock. 5:05 on the game clock in the fourth quarter. Miller with the ball. Swing Foreman on the left corner. Looking for a pass. A good crossover there on Watkins. It finds its way into Weta's hands, but she loses it out of bounds. Would have had a clear layup if she had held onto it.
Colorado still putting up great defensive possessions. We saw the steal there from Kendall Weta, but still struggling to capitalize on offense consistently off of those defensive possessions.
And we're going to have the under 5 media timeout here in this fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break. Score 52-48 in favor of Colorado. Welcome back to the Michelob Ultra Arena. This is Blaze Radio Online. At the Pac-12 Women's Tournament, Game 1, bottom-seeded Washington playing 5th-seeded Colorado in a tight one, under 5 to play. Colorado leads 52-48. Washington with the ball. Colorado bringing the full court press. Schwartz gives it over to Oliver. She's guarded by Weta. At the top of the key. Tight defense there. And a three-point shot's going to be taken, no good by Mulkey. Long rebound goes out to Colorado. Watkins slow to get up on the other end. 4-on-5 basketball as Watkins hustles down the court. Weta now doesn't get a playoff, goes inside. Miller on Mulkey. She screens for Weta. Excuse me, that's Foreman who got the screen, and we're going to have an off-the-ball foul called. Going to be called on Oliver. Both of these teams starting to kind of settle in a little more here. Scoring slowed down a little bit from the end of that third and beginning of the fourth quarter. Inbound over to Sadler. Foreman swings over to Tutelay. She thinks about a shot, gets the defender up in the air, but misses the layup. Noble comes down with the rebound. Mulkey was a defender there. Goes inside Mulkey, and she's going to be fouled by Hollingshed, who kind of dragged Mulkey back as she was looking for the ball.
Hollingshed trying to get away with one there. She had the right idea. Mulkey was kind of leaning on Hollingshed. She pulled the chair out from underneath her with her leg, trying to move back and get in front, but because she had her arm around Mulkey's arm, refs call the foul. Washington gets to reset their offense.
Huskies with the ball. They trail by 4 with 4:09 left in the game, and we're going to have a timeout called by Washington as Washington almost had their third 5-second out-of-bounds violation. And with that timeout, we'll take one with them. 4:09 left. Buffs lead 52-48. Welcome back to the Pac-12 Women's Tournament. Washington versus Colorado. Buffs lead by 4. Washington with the ball. Noble with the ball, swings it over to Van Dyke, over to Schwartz. Schwartz at the top of the key now. Working on it with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Gets doubled. 2 seconds. Steps back. Fires up a three. And hits it. Nothing but nylon. Schwartz on a step back makes it a 1-point game. And we're going to have a stoppage of play as they're going to review to see if Schwartz got the shot off in time. But what a shot from Lauren Schwartz.
That Colorado defense was all over her. She's dribbling around trying to find something. The quick step back, couldn't even create that much space, but was able to find enough just to get the shot up. It looked like she got it up. It looked like it went in when the buzzer rang for the shot clock. So I think it might be good, but we'll let the refs decide that here.
The refs are right in front of us, and we can see the replay review, and it looks like the ball is already almost in the bucket by the time the shot clock expires. So it should be an easy call. And they're just gonna, and they did confirm the 3-point basket. Score is 52-51 in favor of Colorado. 3:44 left in the game.
I think they were also taking a closer look there to see if she got her foot behind the line before she put the shot up. They confirmed she did in fact get the 3-point shot, get it before the buzzer. So Colorado will be only up by 1 now.
Lauren Schwartz, the transfer from Rice, has not played well today. She's only 4 for 14, but that was a huge shot there. She has 10 in the game. 3:44 left. Colorado with the ball up 1. Sherrod checks back in the timeout. Wada gives it inside, and that's Tutelay who puts that one in. A 3-point lead for Colorado. Noble now gets it in. Colorado backs off the 3-point pressure. Oliver Guarded by Sherrod. Swings over to Van Dyke. Van Dyke gives over to Mulkey. Mulkey hands off Van Dyke. She has a clear lane, goes up, can't finish. Good defense there by Tudele as the trailing defender.
She's going to want that one back. Wide open path to the basket. Colorado made a mistake in communication on defense. Van Dyke just couldn't finish there. Ludele kind of on her back, trying to play catch-up defense. And Colorado able to get the ball and go back on offense.
Sherrod with the ball for Colorado. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Gives over Sadler. Kicks back out. Hollingshed for three. Hits the back of the iron. No good. Bodies hit the floor. Can't tell who it is. Schwartz is going to go up and is intentionally fouled. It's Tamia Sadler who's down back in the Colorado side of the court. We're going to have an injury timeout here as Sadler gets checked out. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Blaze Radio Online. Scary scenes here in Michelob Ultra Arena. Tamia Sadler hit the deck hard after her teammate Tudele ran into her back. She hit the ground hard. Didn't see her move, and she was stretched off the court. We're not going to speculate on what the injury is. This play is going to get ready to resume here. We only hope that she is okay. But the game's going to continue. Washington's going to have the ball. Van Dyke gives it over to Oliver as she's covered by Jalen Sherrod. Watkins over to Van Dyke on the left side. 2.5 minutes left, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Washington trails 51 to 43. Should be 51-54. And we're going to have a high pass. It's going to be tipped out of bounds. It was intended for Mulkey.
This Colorado team will look to get some of their energy back, trying to go. It's hard seeing your teammate leave the court like that, but they'll try to win this game.
Again, we don't know what Sadler's injury is. We can only hope for the best and that she is okay. Frida Foreman has entered the game for her. Sherrod has it on the left wing. 2 minutes left to go in this first round matchup between Washington and Colorado here at the Pac-12 Women's Tournament, as Weta has a three roll out of the rim, but Tudele comes up with the offensive board kick out. Foreman, who answers the three off the miss. Lead back up to 6 for Colorado. 1:45 left to go in the fourth. Schwartz brings it up for Washington. He's going to have to give it across the timeline to Oliver, who's picked up by Weta. Gets a screen from Van Dyke, another screen from Mulkey. On the right elbow, swings back out. Van Dyke, who loses the pass out of bounds.
Washington making little mistakes here now. We saw it with the pass that went over Mulkey's head. We see it right there with Van Dyke, just letting that one slip out of her fingertips. You have got to get the ball. You got to hold on to it. You've got to control it and be careful with it. You can't make turnovers like this at this point in the game when it's this close.
Colorado with the ball now. Tudele on the left wing. Thought about a shot. Mulkey covering, gives it over Foreman, who's going to be fouled by Schwartz. Schwartz kind of hooked her a little bit as she was trying to drive. That's Lauren's second, Washington's third team foul of the quarter. And Washington has got to get a stop here with a minute 13 left, down 6 points.
Well, we've seen it here and there, flashes of Washington their defense being good, but overall they have not been able to match that aggressiveness and the quality defense that Colorado has been able to put up against them. But they'll have to try here if they want any chance of winning this game.
Hollingshed thought about a shot, gives up top of the key to Weta, swing back over to Sherrod. Jab stepping on Van Dyke, gets right past her, and a nice spin and puts it in. Under a minute to play, Colorado takes an 8-point lead. Washington's got to get something here. Van Dyke, harassed by Sherrod, gives it over to Schwartz. She's picked up by Foreman, gives over to Oliver at the top. 19 seconds on the shot clock, 45 on the game clock. Mulkey with the ball, looking for someone to pass to. Schwartz gets the handoff on a drive, going to throw it up. Can't get it too strong. Rebound falls to Hollingshed, and Colorado's going to dribble out some clock here. Good pass over to Foreman across the timeline. 30 seconds on the game clock, and she's going to be fouled with 29 seconds by Van Dyke.
We have seen it so many times here today. Washington not able to do the easy things, make the easy shots, make the easy passes, and there was another example of it right there. Schwartz had a bit of a clear path to the basket, not able to put the shot in, and that one's going to cost her team as they're not able to make up any of their deficit as it sits at 8 right now.
Still fouls to give for Washington. They have one more. Here comes Tudele, who's going to be fouled with 26 seconds on the game clock. And she'll be at the line to shoot free throws. Game starting to slip out of Washington's grasp, and if Tudele is able to make just one of these from the line, if two, to make it 4 possessions, it might just be over.
Tudele currently shooting 80% from the line.
Has the first one rattle out. Tudele has been the highest scorer for Colorado today with 15 points, 6 for 9 shooting, but hasn't been great from the free throw line. She's only 3 for 7 after making the second free throw to bring Colorado's lead up to 9 with 26.3 left to play in the game as Washington will take a timeout.
This game's getting a lot of energy back, a lot of energy in Michelob Ultra as Washington I mean, 9 points in 30 seconds. It's been done before, but it'll be hard to do right here.
And in this type of situation, you don't necessarily need a 3 here. You just want the fastest bucket possible, whether it is a 3 or if it's a quick layup. Maybe you get a foul and 1, or you just get a quick bucket and immediately harass the inbounder. And
once again, you've got to do these things. If you get the shot, you have to put it in, especially if it's open. It's hard finding openings with this Colorado defense, but Washington's managed to do it. They just need to do it here, and they need to capitalize on it as well.
Can't be shy about shooting the shot, not on this stage. Washington, if they can't pull this out here, their season will come to an end at the Pac-12 tournament in the first round. Oliver to inbound, looking, finds Mulkey, gives off Oliver, steps back, a 3 at the top of the key, doesn't hit anything and goes out of bounds. And that one might just put this one to bed, as Colorado's going to call a timeout to draw up the inbound play.
Well, they've still got the chance on the inbounds play to try to get a turnover, try to get some sort of possession, stop Colorado from inbounding the ball, maybe a 5 seconds call, maybe a turnover off the inbound, but they haven't done it yet tonight, and it would be very hard for them to do right here, as Colorado will draw play to make sure that doesn't happen.
Score is 60-51 with 21.2 seconds left to play in the ball game. Let me tell you, this game has kind of been all over the place. The first half of this game was not something that basketball fans enjoy to watch. There was a lot of sloppy basketball, a lot of turnovers. Colorado out-rebounded Washington by 13 in the first half, but Washington was able to hold on to only be down 4. Comes back, an electric third quarter of play. Makes it a 1-point game going into the fourth quarter. And in this fourth quarter, kind of been all over the place. We've had some stoppages for injury and whatnot, but Colorado seems to have put Washington in a stranglehold with 21 seconds left.
Despite the result of these final 20 seconds, the way Washington has played here today, that's a great start for them going into next season. As you've mentioned, the transfers from Rice here with Langley, they've been able to put up some work here today, and so they'll want to carry this momentum. They've played a phenomenally close game here with Colorado. Maybe not the best game, but they've kept it close to this Colorado team that's had a good season. So something they'll definitely want to keep in mind as they move into this offseason, whether or not they win or lose here.
Tayana Jones enters the game to inbound for Colorado. Mulkey right in your face. And we're going to have a call on Mulkey, who stepped over the out-of-bounds line trying to guard Jones's inbound.
I mean, they put the right person on the inbounder, certainly. Mulkey, long and lanky in all parts. Certainly a barrier there for Jones.
Inbounds it and gets it to Hollingshed, who is going to go to the free throw line to put this one away.
Hollingshed able to kind of bring her game back. She started off slow like the entire game did, but she's kind of come into herself as this game has progressed. She's got 11 points now. Make that 12 as she hits that first free throw, but she's been a big help to her team on the boards for sure.
She had a stretch in the third quarter where she hit 3 straight threes on 3 possessions, and that really kind of ignited this game as she puts her team up 11 with 20 seconds to go to just about close this one out. Washington's going to call a timeout. Buffs lead 62-51 in the first game of the women's tournament.
Yeah, we're going up 11 with 20 seconds. The way these two teams have played, it seems that might just about do it here.
We do encourage you to stick around for the next games. Blaze Radio will be broadcasting all games of the Pac-12 tournament next. The Arizona State Sun Devils are going to be taking on Oregon State right at the end of this one. So stick around for that one.
Sun Devils and the Beavers will get a rematch of what was a bit of a thriller at Desert Financial Arena for that one game. Taya Hansen at the end of that one hit 6 straight free throws to put the Sun Devils up 8. That game will be streamed, however, on the Blaze Radio Twitter, so head over there once this game finishes up to listen to Mallory Schnell and Gabby Ducharme call that one.
Thank you, Tia. And this one's looking like it's about wrapped up, but you talked about it earlier. This Washington team kind of limped into this tournament. Did not have the season they had hoped for, and their coach's first year coming over from Rice, bringing over a couple transfers. Tina Langley. It's a good starting point. They've showed a lot of grit in this one, but it's looking like they might not be able to pull it out with 20 seconds left. Watkins going to inbound for Washington, right in front of the scorer's table on the Colorado side of the court. Watkins gives it in to Oliver. Oliver's going to drive baseline, kicks back out. Schwartz is going to drive, throws up a floater on the baseline, hits nothing, gives out Oliver, 14 seconds. She throws up a shot that hits only the backboard, and we're going to have a foul called on Schwartz's follow-up off the miss. Foul's going to be called on Hollingshed.
Washington able to get a couple of offensive boards there, but not able to get their shots in. Ran about 10 seconds off the clock. Still needing 11 points. Doesn't seem feasible here.
And that doesn't help as Schwartz just hits the front of the rim, comes right back to her, no good on the first free throw. 11 seconds left in the ball game. And Schwartz hits the second one, and Colorado calls a timeout after the make. 11 seconds on the clock. Colorado leads 62-52. Towards the end of this one.
Colorado's coach J.R. Payne still actively calling timeouts, coaching her team. She knows 11 seconds, or the 20 seconds that it was before, you have to make sure you are on top of everything. You want to make sure every possibility you've planned for here, and so she wants to make sure her team knows what they're doing on offense, knows what they're doing defensively to close this one out. And hey, maybe just for a little bit more practice, play the full game out, keep up that tough defense, take that momentum with you tomorrow.
You're exactly right. Colorado, if the result holds, will go on to face number 4 Arizona in tomorrow's first game at 12 p.m. West Coast time, barring an unforeseen comeback with 11 seconds remaining. Jones to inbound, and we're going to have a timeout called by Colorado to prevent a 5-second call.
Yeah, we talk a little bit about that U of A Colorado matchup that we're very likely going to see tomorrow. U of A a little bit coming in a little bit not where they want to be. They've had a couple of losses these past couple of weeks. They've had a couple of injuries. Kate Reese dislocated her shoulder when the LA teams came to town, so she's a little bit out of it here and there. Nonetheless, U of A's had a great season. They only managed to pull number 4, but they're ranked within the top 15 in the AP poll. U of A looking fit to make another run in the tournament after this Pac-12 tourney concludes. They'll do well in the national tournament.
No Ari McDonald this year for Arizona. She went off to the WNBA, but they still have an incredible team and looking to make that run, and will likely face Colorado as they get the ball inbounded. Hollingshed's going to be fouled with 10.2 on the clock.
Both teams really doing their best to stretch these last 10 seconds out here. Want to soak up every second on this court at Michelob Ultra Arena.
I don't blame them. It's an extremely beautiful court they put together here in Michelob Ultra here in Vegas. Hollingshed at the line. Hits the first one. Makes her 4 for 6 on the day. 3 for 3.
Washington trying to get a last-minute sub on the court in Noble to try to get something in these last 10 seconds.
And Hollingshed hits both free throws, make it a 12-point game with 10 seconds left. Schwartz to inbound for Washington. Colorado bringing the full court press.
Washington electing to go small ball here as they take Mulkey off.
They give it into Oliver. Oliver's going to look to drive by, and we're going to have a foul called on Jones. A little bit of a blocking foul.
Not really what you want to do on the Colorado side. No need to foul. I know she's maybe just trying to play some tough defense. Wasn't trying to go for the foul, but, you know, no need to take the risk here, really. just want these final seconds to tick off the clock so you can start prepping for your matchup tomorrow.
5.8 left on the game clock. Buffs up 12, inbound Van Dyke. Van Dyke fires a shot up, hits the rim, no good. Rebound bounces around, Colorado comes up with it, and the Buffs are moving on to round 2 to face Arizona. Your final score here, Colorado wins 64, Washington 52.
Well, we had a bit of a slow start to this matchup. Neither team could really get things going, but it surely came around, and we ended up with a pretty decent score here, 64-52. Washington fought hard, but they will end their season here. Not a bad note to end their season on. They put up a tough fight against this number 5 seeded team in the tournament. Colorado, as we mentioned, they will carry on to face off against Arizona tomorrow.
They will play Arizona at noon. Coming up in 20 minutes, Arizona State taking on Oregon State here in the second game of the Pac-12 Women's Tournament. We'll sign off here. For Tia Reed, I'm Walker Smith. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys later tonight.